started a home-based service business and you have found that running a business is harder than it looks and more overwhelming than you ever thought it would be. This podcast is the best of the best information that I've learned to help grow and sustain my business. Listen, subscribe, and follow along. We can avoid the overwhelm and start creating a business we love to run. This episode is brought to you by my bookkeeping strategy sessions. If you're stuck and don't know how to tackle your massive bookkeeping problem that's keeping you up at night, I can help. We can create an actionable, manageable plan for you to catch up with your books, and I can show you how not to fall behind again. To book one of these limited sessions, email me at lydia@dacbalance.com to be sure that we are a good fit to work together. Now, on with the show. This episode is going to be a little different because it's a turning point. Up until now, the direction of this podcast has been me going through my MBA notes, and I'll pick out some topics that I want to share about, and then I share about them on the podcast. And it's true that you don't really know something until you can easily teach it to someone else, and I feel like I have learned even more from the program by doing this for the podcast. However, the last few months, obviously, you've noticed that episodes haven't been coming out, and that's because I am pregnant. I don't think I've mentioned that on the podcast yet, but I'm pregnant, and the first 3 months were pretty horrendous for me as far as like sickness and things like that. So it was really hard to record because I felt like I was just going to lose it every time, so I just didn't, which is not great for podcasting, but that's what my life was like the last few months. So I've had a lot of time to reflect, and I have just felt like this is not the direction that I need to take the podcast. I'm spending quite a bit of time planning the podcast and talking about things that I don't offer in my business. I don't offer marketing. I don't offer technology services. I offer bookkeeping and consulting, and not physically doing the bookkeeping, but helping business owners create systems to get it done and what the numbers mean for their business and to make better decisions based on that information. That's what I do, and that's what I'm passionate about. So this past week, I had the chance to get away for a few days all by myself at the beach and reflect on my business and pinpoint things that were working and things that are not working in my business. And truthfully, the way that this podcast has been going is not working. So it left me with the option to change or to stay the same. And I'm choosing to change. So from now on, this podcast is going to focus heavily on your numbers and on bookkeeping and things that you need to know as a business owner when you're doing your finances, basically. And I'll be deep diving into topics like profit and what to do if you are majorly behind in your bookkeeping, and what to do when you're ready to outsource your bookkeeping, and how to find someone and what that can look like. And these are all things that I do one-on-one with clients, and I am thrilled to share some of my expertise on these things with you guys here on the podcast. And I knew that this was the right direction to take the podcast when I looked through a private Facebook group of other business owners that I'm a part of, and I found over 50 questions that I could answer in a longer podcast form. And what's even better is I know that it will help people because these are the real problems that business owners are facing, and the real problems and the real questions that they asked, because it was literally from a business owner. So I was able to go through and look at those questions, jot them down, and kind of break them up into categories together. And I'll be going through those in the next however many years I'll be doing this podcast. I won't be deleting any previous episodes, so I can see on my stats that there are some people that are binge listening to previous seasons, so don't worry, those aren't going to go anywhere. And I'll still have bonus episodes because I do like to share interviews and my PowerSheet updates, and I'll be adding in some new bonus episodes in the upcoming months that I'm really, really excited about. So if this is something that can help your business, if the new direction of the podcast can help you, well, I'm honored to be able to do that for you. If you have a specific bookkeeping problem that you want an answer to on the podcast, feel free to email me at lydia@dacbalance.com, and I can do my best to work it into the show in the next year or so. But if you need help with something like yesterday, then I do offer one-on-one strategy sessions where you bring the problem and I find a solution and bring it to the table for us to talk about and for you to decide if that's what you want to implement in your business. No hard feelings if you decide to stay with what you have and keep making it work, because as a CEO of your own business, you have to decide that for yourself. So next week, I'll be sharing an episode titled So You're Behind in QuickBooks. If this is you, please subscribe so you will be notified when the episode drops. And I would love to connect with you. You can find me on Instagram at lydia.miller.mba and always by email lydia@dacbalance.com. And I just want to let you know that I am nervous and intimidated by the new direction of the podcast, but it just makes sense. And in my mind, I know that this is the best thing that I can do for you right now, and to help you get caught up on your bookkeeping and to actually use the information that you get from your numbers to make your business even better. So until next time, make it happen.